enjoy this magnificent universe that He's created. Uh, but we got sidetracked bad, and Jesus came to try to get us back going in the right direction again, and he still is for those that listen and are willing to believe in Him. I mean, and seek Him out, seek His truth. I mean, he's wisdom. If you Satanism, I'm just going to touch on this a little bit. I've learned a little bit about Satanism, like the Satanic Church out in California. It was founded by Anton LaVey in 1966. Much of what they talk about, the reason they follow Satan is because, uh, well, for one thing, they really don't even believe that there is a devil, or so they say, and they don't believe in heaven. They don't believe in. They're basically just very stern atheists, but they took on the name of Satan just to keep Christians from bothering them. They didn't, they wanted to sound spooky to people so people wouldn't bother them. Basically, if you talk to these people, that's the reason why they took on the name of Satan. Now, whether that's what they really are doing in real life, for the absolute truth, uh, I don't know, but that's what they claim. But if they're basically seeking wisdom and knowledge. They believe that the way to happiness, the path to happiness, is the more knowledgeable you become about the world and the universe around you. The more you can manipulate it, the more you can make it please, suit you to your satisfaction. That's why they're science and chemistry and all those things is the knowledge of how you take dirt, basically dirt and whatever chemicals, natural chemicals are here on the earth, and manipulate them to make plastic, or all these little trinkets that we have today. Uh, they didn't like the world. They don't like the world the way it is naturally. I mean, they claim that they do, but they're constantly trying to manipulate it into something else. Uh, and I'm not saying they doing this with evil intentions. They just want to be comfortable. And we looked at the American Indians, I guess, when we first came over here, and we're like, oh my gosh, they live in tents with buffalo hide and all this, and thought, man, we don't want to live like that. But the Indians were very, very happy people, and lived here for many, many centuries, if not thousands of years. And they were perfectly happy, and they were very wise as well. And I mean, they in fact warned man. I think it was back in about the 1850s. One of the main Indian chiefs, warned the white man, that when we've cut down the last tree and poisoned the last river, we'll know that we cannot eat money. Is what he told them. And that's, you look at what's happened between then and now, and yeah, we're basically destroying this planet we live on, little by little, all the time. It's and at a more rapid rate every year. So I mean, you can kind of begin to see, hopefully, that we're going in the wrong direction, and the only thing that's going to save us is we've got to address the problems and be merciful to each other, not trying to throw each other. And that goes for our world leaders too. We need to be merciful to our world leaders, even though many of them could probably care less. But they're going to get their everybody's going to get their reward. They'll be left with a world that's worthless, and but we'll be given a kingdom. We'll be given a mansion in heaven. If you want to put it that way, it's when this world has burned up and passed away. God's going to create a new one, and if that's what that literally means, or if it means that the earth is just basically man's going to destroy himself, and when the smoke clears, it'll start over. On this, there's different views on that, and which you can argue with people about it, but it's basically just the new world that Christ and His people will be a world ruled by the law of God, which is basically that whatsoever you would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. Everybody's going to treat each other the way they would like to be treated. That would be the perfect world, and that's what's eventually going to have happen, because all the evil people are just going to eventually destroy themselves, and then Christ will resurrect all of those that lived by that philosophy of loving your neighbors, you love yourself. They'll be resurrected into the kingdom of heaven, and but those that didn't live that way and thought it was foolishness, they won't be resurrected again until the great white throne judgment, which is like 1,000 years after Christ returns, and that's when God the Father comes, and every man is judged. I mean, it says that death or it says that the sea and hell and all of that give up the dead. In other words, like you watch these zombie movies, could be something kind of like that. I don't know. Uh, I think that's where they may get their idea from. But people, the damned will raise from the grave, and every one of them will be judged, and then it says that death and hell and the grave is all cast into the lake of fire. So, uh, are those people going to be given another chance? That's the Bible's not real firm about that. I have asked that question: why would God, bring people back from hell just to turn around and judge them and then throw them into the lake of fire? I mean, if He is a God of love, the faint hope there that maybe, but I'm not gonna go around preaching that either, that that's the way it's going to be, because but there is some of the Word of God that has been sealed up till the end, and the Book of Revelation talks about that. So there's still a little bit that has not been totally revealed to us as to what God's going to do in the very end times. So, but I think we're all fixing to probably see it, and I believe we're witnessing it every day. So, but anyway, I'm going to shut up now because I've been talking for probably a good hour. But it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope that you learned something, or at least got you thinking. I'm not, trying to say I know everything either there, but I just feel I've gained some pretty good knowledge. I've seeked the Word, and I've looked around at the world events, and feel that I know, to the best of my ability, what God's intentions are and what He wants from us. He doesn't. It's not His will that anybody on the planet perish. It's just that so few actually really get down to business and try to seek Him out and find Him, because God's kind of in the act of. He's really not jumping up and down and saying, "Hey, I'm over here." He's letting man do his thing, which is basically destroy himself, and it says, "Unless these days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved." Um, so if you do have ears to hear, please listen to this as many times as you want to. Or I know it's probably not the most exhilarating thing to listen to, but I hope that at least these scriptures, just listen to the scriptures that are read, uh, that it'll give you some desire to learn, to want to study the Word, and start finding some of this stuff out for yourself. Uh, but anyway, I'll let you go. It's nice talking to you, and may God bless you. Goodbye.